Hey, it's your amateur sarcastic man and avoider of attention, Ozchris, here with reviews on Guardians of the Galaxy #1 and Uncanny X-Men Annual #1. So, start off with the relaunch, Guardians of the Galaxy #1. So I got the Jeff Shaw wraparound cover. The normal cover isn't that bad either, but I really like the kind of promo art they had for Guardians of the Galaxy. This of just all of the potential members, as they never leading up to it, they never said who's going to be in the actual lineup, who's going to be the new Guardians of the Galaxy. So so I thought I'll get the Jeff Shaw one. So starting off, Eros, aka Star Fox, aka Thanos' brother, has gathered various groups and races. So you have the Kree, the Skull, Shi'ar as Guardians, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Beta Ray Bill, Howard the Duck. He's gathered all of them there to bear witness to Thanos' last will and testament, because Thanos was beheaded by Gamora, leading up to the events of the worst MCU cash grab ever seen, Infinity Wars. And Thanos' will and testament reveals that Thanos isn't actually dead yet. As he says, Thanos prepares for everything. This is not how Thanos will die. No, when I join death at her side, it will be on terms that I alone will dictate. I have never lived a common life, and I will not die a common death. And he reveals to everyone that as soon as he dies, his consciousness will be uploaded and implanted into the mind of another, as he says here. So now it's a kind of as he revels in kind of, the will revels in them wishing that he was there to witness their horror, that they thought they got rid of him, but he's actually technically still alive. Eros has brought all of them together. He's made note not to bring any of the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, or technically the Guardians aren't there, but he's brought them all there. Their mission is to hunt down the new Thanos, and one of their first targets is the person who killed him, Gamora, and that leads to them being attacked by Nowhere, the Celestial Head, the dead Celestial Head. Nowhere attacks them, and they are boarded by the Black Order, who are there to retrieve Thanos' body. And speaking of Nowhere, that connects back to what the remaining members of the Guardians of the Galaxy are doing. Star-Lord and Groot. Groot now rocking a punk look. It's just a phase, Mom. Gosh, you don't understand me. I am Groot. So I don't have any problems with it. I know at least in the movie we've seen Groot kind of like, he was a little kid and then he got into his angsty teen phases. So I'm guessing after the events of Infinity Wars, nothing was looking pretty good for the Guardians, as Quill later says to a Nova member when they arrive at where Nowhere should be but isn't. He tells them, Gamora's dead. I think he tells the Nova, it's just like, yep, Gamora's dead. Not Gamora. Drax is dead. Gamora is now a villain, and something happened with Rocket. They don't talk about what's happened to Rocket, as Groot says. And after the Nova tells them where Nowhere is headed, possibly be headed, they arrive there. The Black Order has set off a rip in the fabric of time that consumes everyone that was there at the witnessing into it. But at the last moment, a few of them are saved by Star-Lord and Groot, and their new mission is to deal with Thanos, with the new Thanos, to find, locate, and kill this new Thanos. So definitely a good start. I really enjoyed the start to this new Guardians of the Galaxy. I was wondering how Cates would start it off, how it would be done. I've gone on record saying I don't like the current iteration of Guardians, and that being used as the inspiration for the films. Them being outlaws, they're not really Guardians of the Galaxy, they're just a group of outlaws that just happen to guard the galaxy or save the galaxy, probably like every second adventure. Now, unlike like the Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, the DNA era of Guardians, the start of their Guardians of the Galaxy, their whole purpose was to be Guardians of the Galaxy. The team was brought together to guard the galaxy from huge cosmic threats after the events of Annihilation. So they were actual Guardians, and that's probably peak Guardians of the Galaxy with the DNA era. And then something happened. They just decided to be outlaws, and haven't been a huge fan of that. You're not really Guardians of the Galaxy if you're just a group of thieves that just sometimes are just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, let's save these people. So definitely a good start to this issue. So who we got? We got on art Jeff Shaw and as the artist, and Mate Gracia as the colorist. I definitely like the art and the coloring of this. It's definitely good. So I'm wondering if I'll spoil it a little bit. So the people that are saved are Cosmic Ghost Rider, Moondragon, Pylavel, and Beta Ray Bill. And in order to stop the Novas from taking them in for questioning, Star-Lord says they're part of his team now, and with Cosmic Ghost Rider saying, wait, no, I ain't signing up to be a member of the damn, Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm okay if this is the actual lineup. It's a kind of a good mix. So you kind of got you got a bit of like former, current, and new. So obviously Moondragon, Pylavel, they were part of the original DNA Guardians of the Galaxy. I know they joined. Pylavel was there from the beginning. Moondragon joins later on. So they're the older members. Same with Star-Lord and Groot, but they're also the current members. And then you have the new members, Beta Ray Bill and Cosmic Ghost Rider, who are also fan favorites. I know a lot of people definitely like Beta Ray Bill, and I know a lot of people would have liked that he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, but now that he's actually on the actual Guardians of the Galaxy, the proper one, I'm fine if he's a permanent member. I'm fine with this if this is the permanent lineup, but if I remember correctly from solicitations, and if I'm wrong, please correct me on that, the lineup is not done. It's not going to be the initial lineup. There's probably this first story arc will determine who the final team, the new Guardians of the Galaxy, will be. So we'll see how it goes, but definitely a good start to this new series. So on to Uncanny X-Men. Cyclops is back, and we're going to explore how he comes back. So this is written by Ed Bryson, who brought Cyclops back at the end of Extermination. Art by Carlos Gomez, coloring by Guru FX. So starting off, we go to Muir Island, where Cyclops is buried. He literally shoots his way out of his grave, and he's back. Cyclops is back, but it goes into a flashback, and I like the art style and decision to have it kind of look like classic X-Men art style with going into a flashback. So in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Cyclops saves a college or university from Professor Turney, his name is, and his robot Stragon is able to defeat him. He's saved by Paul Dowick, who then later on, 10 years after that event, Kid Cable meets, and he asks him to rebuild and recreate the Phoenix Cage that was used as an attempt to contain the Phoenix Force, because he doesn't explain his full reasoning yet, but he wants him to recreate it for him. And then after they go to the funeral after the events of Death of X, where Cyclops was killed, and they implant it into him, and they're hoping it'll be used to resurrect him, which it does, which goes to Phoenix Resurrection, where the Phoenix tried to I'm trying to remember. It resurrected Cyclops as a means to get Jean to stay with it, but Jean rejected it, so let go of Cyclops. But their plan worked. The portions of the Phoenix Force went into the rebuilt Phoenix Cage, and that led to how Cyclops is back. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Cable and or the Phoenix Force was used to resurrect Cyclops. It was going to be either one of those. Turned out it was both. So Cyclops is back. Kid Cable kind of grounds him. He doesn't want him to go out yet, and he reveals that he brought him back. He messed with the timeline to bring him back because he's, as he says, you're their leader, their hope. For you to die on your knees from a damn infection from mist. That's no way that it should have gone down. I couldn't let that be the end. I kind of agree. Like, Cyclops' death was so pitiful. Like, he dies at the end of, he technically dies at the end of issue number 1 or 2 of Death of X. It turns out he died from the Terrigen Mist, and that the Cyclops that was in the rest of this mini-series was a psychic projection created by Emma Frost to continue his legacy. But yeah, like, he died from an infection. Like, what a sad way to die. What a loser kind of way to die. So I kind of understand where Kid Cable's coming at. And then he tests him. He tells him there are 2 things going on. Currently, the X-Men fighting off against Nate Gray against X-Man. But Cable's also set up. Dr. Turney is back. He's brought more robots. He's going to get revenge on Paul Doick for imprisoning him. So he gives Cyclops the choice. Does he go help the other X-Men, which he wants to do, or does he go save the man that he saved in the past and that would help bring back Cyclops? So, as Cable hoped he would, he makes the right decision and he goes to save Paul Doick. And this ends with him just realizing what he did, what he became, was everything that humanity feared of the mutants. And with the X-Men gone, he says, I'm going to find the X-Men and set it right, leading into Uncanny X-Men number 11. And that's it. This was definitely good. Like, this is good Uncanny X-Men. Unlike those 10 issues that I've been reading and reviewing, this was a good issue of Uncanny X-Men, and it was an annual. And it just shows that maybe Ed Bryson should have been the main writer, not Matthew Rosenberg, the worst possible choice for an X-Men title. Phoenix Resurrection, bland and boring. People don't remember that he did the Multiple Man series. I don't hear a lot of good things about Astonishing X-Men either. So that's it for Uncanny X-Men for me. I'm not picking up issue number 11. Rosenberg's on it. It's $7.99 again. Same as issue number 1, which is $15 Australian, which I have to pay $15 for it. Issue number 1 was not worth the price, so I very much doubt that issue number 11 will be. So I'm done with Uncanny X-Men, That's it. And that's it for these 2. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.